Right Network. Mobilizing, countering the left, energizing the right. New Right Network, home of the New Right movement.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to New Right Network's tonight's original series, SmythTV. Your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the breaking news of the day, wrapping it all up, making sense of it, exposing the fake news, and giving you the real news. Jump over to newrightnetwork.com and check out all the great articles that the great writers over there have put up, as well as you'll get the show notes, the full show notes. I know YouTube doesn't allow me to put all the notes down in the link, in the description below. It doesn't fit. It's too long. Usually show notes about 2 to 3 pages long. But if you look down in the description, there's a link that says full show notes. That'll take you over to newrightnetwork.com, and you'll see the whole article, and the video of today's show will also be posted there as well. When you get a chance, jump over to smyth.tv, become a Patreon of our show, pick up a t-shirt, donate, go to patreon.com, become a patron of ours. So we can't do it without you and our patrons. That is how we continue with the show. And for those of you that are already patrons, I thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart for all the new equipment we're able to produce the show, and the things that we're able to do and bring this show to you Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. With that being said, oh my goodness, guys. Oh, this is Good Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday. If you're watching the show live, it's a little bit after 7 o'clock on Friday evening. Thank you for joining me. You could be doing other things, but you're not. You're getting the real news here, and I've got some incredible news that you're not going to hear anywhere on mainstream media. I promise you, none of this stuff is on mainstream media because it's too good to be true. Donald Trump tweeting out and having to put out the real news. Donald Trump having to put out the real news because nobody else is doing it. Donald Trump talking about the average 401k balance soaring. Donald Trump talking about the consumer price index soaring. Donald Trump trying to cure AIDS. Donald Trump trying to cure cancer. Donald Trump trying to cure pre-existing condition. Man, he's curing everything left and right. So if you're on Twitter and you do as I do, because we normally don't get Donald Trump's tweets, you wake up first thing in the morning and you get on Twitter and you jump over to Donald Trump's page and his timeline, and you just start at the bottom from yesterday where you left off at and the things you liked and shared, and you just go up one tweet at a time, reshare, like, and read the news, the real news of the day, and what's actually happening in our country. God bless Donald Trump and God bless Twitter. As much as I hate Twitter, man, it's a wealth of information if you go to the right places. And right here on the show, I showcase those individuals that put out good, substantive tweets with real news behind them. I tend to stay away from personal opinion tweets, but if your personal opinion is attached to a real article, I'm going to showcase it. Absolutely. And if I agree with your opinion, I'll probably showcase that too. So, and if you ever have something you want to send to me, DM to me on Twitter. My DMs are open. Or if you're not on Twitter and you want to email me, Brian at smyth.tv, SMYTH, Brian at smyth.tv. And I'll get to your emails now. I'll respond back to you absolutely in a timely manner. We've got the Democrats running for 2020, and they're running straight into brick walls left and right. We got social justice warriors, Democrats on display. And then today, I went to check before the show. I went to check on what's trending, and Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's name is trending in America. I'm like, come on, man. Why is this happening? This is Good Friday. I don't mean getting it tangled up with Ben Shapiro. For those of you who don't know Ben Shapiro, he is a never Trumper. Used to write for Breitbart News. And you remember that time that Corey Lewandowski was accused of grabbing the reporter's arm and yanking her down and bruising her. And we all come to find out it was all hoax. It was all lie. It was all fake news. Well, she was a reporter at Breitbart News. That's why we couldn't understand what was going on. Well, subsequently, Breitbart found out that it was fake news and she was faking it and it was a total lie. We saw in the video. Ben Shapiro quit working for Breitbart News because he still believes that fake news of Corey Lewandowski is still somehow real. He did claim that he would vote for Trump over Biden, but still never Trumper. Still, there's a lot of things I don't agree with him. He is a fantastic debater. There's no question about that. If you like him, that's totally cool. No big deal. If you like Ben Shapiro, totally cool. No big deal. But I warn you, if you listen to him, he says some good things and then he says some bad things. So he goes back and forth. But anyways, he was on the BBC having an interview and man, oh boy, him and the BBC guy just locking horns, going back and forth. And so that's why it was trending, because he just, the Daily Beast claimed he stormed off set. Oh man, Ben Shapiro said, hey, I'm over. This is done. This is ridiculous. I don't even know who you are. This is it. And the reporter said, well, I don't even know who you are. And Ben's like, okay, well then that's it. Done. Takes the clip off and that's it. We'll get into that. Ben Shapiro, or Prison Planet, coming to Ben Shapiro's aid because he was referred to as an enabler of fascism. Ben Shapiro's Jewish. Fascist? Oh, man, come on. Speaker Pelosi stepping in it today, embracing Islam, embracing the hate that Islam is, embracing those who hate Jews that are a part of Islam. We've also got some fantastic news. See, you're not going to hear this. This is the only place to hear this, folks. Crush the like, crush the share. Let everybody know Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, the news that you will not get anywhere because they don't want you to know what's really going on. So we've got to pull together as conservatives. We've got to pull together as the original Tea Party members, and then morphed from the Tea Party members that morphed into the MAGA movement, the Make America Great Again movement, now transforming to the America First agenda, and 2020 will be CAG, K-A-G, Keep America Great. 2024, we're absolutely going to have to be in full-blown digital warriors. Join the digital army, y'all. Get involved. Join the digital army. Thank you, General Flynn. General Flynn, a friend of the show. General Flynn follows the show. I've talked with General Flynn many times, and in one of his speeches, he referred to us as the digital army. And I thank you. I salute you, sir. I'm a former Air Force member myself, Air Force vet. So Buzz and I got a conversation. Buzz, former Air Force, and held the nuclear football for Bill Clinton. And he and I at the American Priorities Conference just got into a great conversation. Just a regular good old guy. Had him on an interview here a few months ago. So anyways, getting back to show notes, we've got the best news. It just tickles me pink. We started an organization to help push the America First agenda and to find candidates that want to run from anywhere and even yourself, if you're listening to the show, if you want to run for a local city council member, you want to run for mayor, you want to run for Congress, the Senate, you want to run for any seat, we don't judge. Justice Patriots are here for you. JusticePatriots.org, here for you. They don't judge. Just as long as you have the American First agenda, as we would train and teach you and show you the ropes through our third-party outlet that we will help fund and help your campaign, help seed your campaign to get it started. And now we have two beautiful, incredible women, very smart, Christian, taking on AOC, taking on Ilhan Omar. Christians are stepping up like I've never seen before. We are going to get behind them. We are going to support them 100%. That is Justice Patriots' agenda, justicepatriots.org. The agenda is to support Christians running for Congress, making a difference in this country, to bring our country back to the Founding Fathers' ideologies. I'm just thoroughly thrilled, and I'm gonna get into these ladies. So we're gonna go through them, go through where they are. The website is in the show notes below. The name's Stevie Rivenbark in the show notes below. Her handle on Twitter, on Facebook. I'm trying to help you guys get hooked up with these people. You got to know who they are. Lori Moore, she's got a link to her website. She's real big on Facebook, but we're also going to showcase there's a smaller unknown handle on Twitter, but you're absolutely going to have to follow that one too. If we've got time, we'll get to the Antifa stuff. Just a couple of Antifas out there. Brian Sims out of Pennsylvania. I showed the video of him harassing, he's an elected official, harassing young teenage women and a mother praying on public street, praying in public, just about 5 of them, in front of Planned Parenthood abortion mill. And that's all they were doing, is just praying. And he literally doxed them and harassed them. And he gets his just desserts. We got gay black men going after him for not supporting LGBTQ stuff. And it's on display. It's so funny, folks. So funny. And this last night, as we closed out the show, I didn't have time for it, but we'll hit it right here at the beginning of the show just now. And this tweeted out by the official Trump War Room. John Kerry, America's second worst Secretary of State in the history behind crooked Hillary Clinton, is violating the Logan Act by colluding with Iran. How shameful.
What I'd like to see with Iran, I'd like to see them call me. You know, John Kerry speaks to them a lot. John Kerry tells them not to call. That's a violation of the Logan Act. And frankly, he should be prosecuted on that, but my people don't want to do anything that's, only the Democrats do that kind of stuff, you know? Yes. If it were the opposite way, they'd prosecute him under the Logan Act. But John Kerry violated the Logan Act. He's talking to Iran and has many meetings and many phone calls, and he's telling them what to do. That is a total violation of the Logan Act. Because what they should be doing is, their economy is a mess ever since I took away the Iran deal. They have inflation that's the highest number I've ever heard. They're having riots every weekend and during the week even. And what they should be doing is calling me up, sitting down, we can make a deal, a fair deal. We just don't want them to have nuclear weapons, not too much to ask. And we would help put them back into great shape. They're in bad shape right now. I look forward to the day where we can actually help Iran. We're not looking to hurt Iran. I want them to be strong and great and have a great economy. But they're listening to John Kerry, who's violated a very important element of what he's supposed to be doing. He violated the Logan Act. Plain and simple. Shouldn't be doing that.
And I agree 100% the Logan Act was violated. My understanding of the Logan Act is that for an American citizen to be colluding with another country while we're technically not at war with Iran, but Iran absolutely wants to destroy America and obtain nuclear weapons and bomb the hell out of everybody. But here's the actual Logan Act stated. The Logan Act, enacted January 30th, 1799, is a United States federal law that criminalizes negotiations by unauthorized persons with foreign governments having a dispute with the United States. We are clearly in dispute with Iran. There's no question about it. Iran is a totalitarian regime that's absolute dictatorship from the very high up in Sharia law all the way down, ruining its citizens' lives, destroying its country, destroyed the economy. Everything is just absolutely destroyed under this Islamic Sharia law regime. That's what they're meant to do, though. They're meant to suppress the people and keep them enslaved. Islam, communism. So we are definitely at odds right now, to say the very least, with Iran. And for John Kerry, who is not an official in any capacity whatsoever, to speak to Iran in some kind of official capacity, if there was ever a poster child for the Logan Act, to be prosecuted on the Logan Act, it'd be John Kerry for sure, without a doubt. So that was trending yesterday. God bless Donald Trump for absolutely calling that out. And at American Voter US, Democrats spend almost $40 million on a phony criminal investigation against political opposition while they openly commit them. Hashtag Logan Act, hashtag arrest Kerry. Secretly meeting with Iran, the Logan Act forbids unauthorized citizens from negotiating with foreign governments. And he writes down there, treason. Sure, I'll go with the Logan Act. Go with the Logan Act and throw treason on top of that. That sounds good to me. They did nothing better than to go ahead and just start blasting them back at what they always do to us. Why not give it back to them? Especially if it's just and it's deserved. I don't say go after Democrats like they go after us. Democrats go after us with nothing. No facts, no evidence, no nothing, just lies, cheats, and schemes. Certainly you could go after, you're going to be able to pay, especially if somebody's watching the show. You're like, Brian, you're a liar. I can find one Republican that's yeah, okay, we call him out here. We called out the ghost of John McCain multiple times. I called it out when he was still alive. What about that one congressperson that was the heavy-set guy, the gay guy, and tapping his foot underneath the bathroom stall, got a wide stance? Yeah, it's everyone. Come on, nobody's perfect, but I'm saying the majority of Republicans that are in the limelight that are trying to make an honest support of America First agenda behind Donald Trump, really working for the people. Jim Jordan, Mark Meadows. You got some great guys up there that are making a difference. And now we're going to have two incredibly awesome women, because that's who we're supporting. America wants good people in Congress that support and work for the people. That's the way it was set up, and so I'm really excited about that. All right, let's jump into the Democrat 2020, as well as these incredible women that are going to be running for Congress against AOC and Ilhan Omar. Okay, now I can't play the sound on this one. I can't, but at least for those of you video only, you can see the video at Will_of_Occam. The SJWs in the Democrat Party got a big problem. All their leaders, presidential candidates, are white and nerdy. So this is from the song from Weird Al Yankovic, I'm white and nerdy. I'm white and nerdy. And he puts the heads of the white nerdy guys in Buttigieg and others in the Democrat Party on the heads, switching the heads around on Weird Al Yankovic being white and nerdy, and the black and darker skinned Democrats running away from them and not being able to see eye to eye. Link in the description below. Have fun with it, guys. Share it. I looked at the guy's stuff, some great stuff. Ben Shapiro in Los Angeles, and that's pretty much all you need to know. In fact, he's out of Los Angeles. He's a little bit half right and he's a little bit half wrong. Decides to do an interview on the BBC, and this by, the Daily Beast. Twitter decided that I needed to see Daily Beast's article of Ben Shapiro for whatever reason. The Daily Beast is hogwash. I don't subscribe to it. It's garbage. It's as bad as the Yahoo News and Mother Jones. Wrap them all up together. It's just awful, awful stuff. So I jumped over and I check it out because I do this for you guys. I don't do it for me. I do it for you. If I didn't have to do it, I wouldn't do it. It's over there at the Daily Beast, the cool kids philosopher, as they refer to Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro storms out of BBC interview. I'm popular and no one's ever heard of you.
Ben Shapiro, you're followed by millions of people online and on social media. You're one of the biggest names in American conservatism. What is it you think you're tapping into?
Well, I think that there are a couple of things. One, there is actually a hunger for different ideas. The monolithic nature of the United States media is pretty evident in terms of its politics. People tend to agree on essentially the liberal point of view and increasingly a radical leftist point of view in the media. And obviously I speak in response to that. At the same time, I try to provide an honest take on the issues of the day, and that means that I'm not beholden to the Republican Party, for example. It means that I'm going to speak out whenever I think that a principle is being violated, just no matter who is doing the violation.
You work for the right-wing Breitbart website, but you left over its support for Donald Trump. And I think you said you'd never vote for Mr. Trump. Why is that?
Well, in 2015, 2016, the Breitbart made a hard turn in favor of one particular candidate, and that's their prerogative. Lots of publications have an editorial point of view, and Breitbart was one of those. The reason that I left Breitbart specifically was because of an incident in which a Breitbart reporter, a female reporter, was grabbed on the arm by Corey Lewandowski, then the campaign manager for President Trump, and was bruised on the arm, and then Corey Lewandowski proceeded to lie about it, and Breitbart proceeded to throw its own reporter under the bus, suggest that she was lying or making this up.
Because she was lying and she was making it up. Let's jump to the last minute of the clip to show how he storms out.
Do you want to read the book and critique the book? Why don't you read and critique the book? If you want to critique me, you can think whatever you want of me.
Why don't you just try and answer the questions?
I don't frankly give a damn what you think of me since I've never heard of you.
And I've never heard of you until I briefed myself for this. But that's not the issue. You haven't.
Then why the hell are you interviewing me?
It's an interesting book. But my point is, your book claims that society.
Well, it'd be nice if you quote it from time to time.
Your book is, well, actually, I've done so several times, and I'm about to do so again. If you would let me just finish the question. Your book claims that society is turning its back on Judeo-Christian values.
Yeah,
what are those values? What are the values it's turning its back on?
I'm not inclined to continue an interview with a person as badly motivated as you as an interviewer. So I think we're done here. I appreciate your time.
All right. Well, thank you for your time and for showing that anger is not part of American political discourse. Now, Mr. Shapiro, we'll say goodbye.
Okay, you see the storming off? He's storming off. There you go. He just stormed off. Ben Shapiro just stormed off the set. Come on, man. What are we talking about here? Ben Shapiro storming off the set. No, that didn't happen. Sorry. Fake news. Anyways, as you see on display, Ben Shapiro completely and utter on the wrong side of this because that's just who he is. And Corey Lewandowski did not bruise or yank a reporter. And Paul Joseph Watson actually tweeted out about this. Ben Shapiro, an enabler of fascism? ? He's Jewish. Yet another example of utter everyone's a Nazi hysteria. What are you going to do? Everybody's a Nazi. Everybody's a Nazi. I don't know what to say. Just move on from it. What are you going to do? And now we jump into what the Speaker of the House is doing. What are the Democrats doing today, yesterday, and tomorrow other than ruining our country? And when I say they're ruining our country, I will show you how and why they're ruining the country. Totally unacceptable. This from Representative Lee Zeldin, good representative, Republican, calling a spade. Totally unacceptable that Speaker Pelosi had Omar Suleiman give the opening prayer yesterday in the House. He compares Israel to the Nazis and calls them terrorists, supports Muslim Brotherhood, incites violence, calling for Palestinian Antifod, and the end of Zionism, etc., etc. Bad call. Freedom to do what they want. That's the Democrat Party, freedom to do what they want, and it doesn't bother me whatsoever because we can call them out as who they are, and they are showing their hand every single day in Congress. There you go. And we can call this out. And that is why, I believe, that is why we have some great new faces in the Republican Party, up and coming Christians to take back seats from AOC and Omar. And lo and behold, the loss of the seat from Crowley to AOC, where people were upset, or we as Republicans were thoroughly incensed that someone who sympathizes with Islam and socialism and this crazy nonsense could be elected to Congress. Folks, I say, hold on. These are people on display, and this is not American values. So I think that Christians could easily or have a better opportunity to beat AOC or to beat Omar instead of an incumbent, old school Democrat where we would never run. We would never run for that seat. Now we have Christians running for this seat, and the Daily Caller calls out Ocasio-Cortez at Daily Caller. I would highly suggest putting this one on notifications. I go to the Daily Caller daily. Ocasio-Cortez claims victory against GOP on climate change despite Green New Deal getting 0 votes. That's right. We got Mitch McConnell taking it to the floor for a vote and not a single vote for AOC's Green New Deal. Just an awful concept, just an awful idea. And this is why people are upset with AOC, because of the things that she's spewing, the awful things that she's doing. And that is why we now have at Stevie Rivenbark, and I guess her last name is Hull. So Stevie Rivenbark, Hull. I am running for Congress to make sure Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's goal of making America a socialist country is stopped in its tracks. You can join my fight. And this is Stevie. Meet Stevie, an incredibly beautiful woman, apparently a mother, and running for Congress.
Hi, my name is Stevie Rivenbark, and on July 22nd, 2012, I found myself clinging to life after being hit head-on in a collision that claimed the lives of 2 other people. After weeks in an intensive care unit with BiPAP machines and failed blood transfusions, I literally won the fight for my life. However, just a couple months later, I found myself making a life-altering decision of whether or not to terminate my pregnancy to pursue medical treatment for a life-threatening infection. I chose life, and several months later, I gave birth to a healthy baby boy. Today, I stand here as a working single mother who understands the struggles facing middle-class Americans who are working hard to make ends meet, facing exorbitant medical bills, and raising children in a public school system wrought with liberal bias. I am running for Congress because it is time for the Republican Party to engage younger voters, embrace diversity, and send a fresh face to Washington to take on the left. Show the mainstream media and crony politicians that young professional women can be conservative, gun-owning, pro-life, and willing to fight hard for those values. Vote for me, Stevie Rivenbark, for North Carolina's 9th Congressional District. I'll see you at the polls.
So as you can see, just an incredible story to get behind, an incredible person to vote for. If you are in her district, 19th district, I'm not there, but hey, man, you got my utter support here on SmythTV, on NewRightNetwork.com, SmythTV's original series right here. You got my vote 100%. What a story. And as we talked with Jay Townsend, a veteran campaign organizer, been doing this all his life. As we talked to him, he said the number one thing you have to do if you want to run for Congress, you've got to have a story. Everybody's story is different, but you got to have a story and a compelling story. That, my friends, got me choked up. I'm choking on my spit. Oh, that got me all choked up. Wow. clinging to life, and then making a comeback, and then being told that she's got an infection that could kill her and kill the baby, and she's got to make a choice. Do you murder the baby in the womb, or do you seek out help and assistance? I'll tell you what. I called Dr. Ben Carson for some kind of advice. He was doing brain surgery on babies in the womb. I didn't think that was possible. Had no idea. But obviously, and she kept her baby. The single mother, very unfortunate. I don't know the reason behind that, but she's single mother, looks strong. Her kids look strong and healthy. Wow, what a compelling story. Pro-life, pro-gun. That's what we need in office. And again, I apologize to you folks. I thought she was running directly against AOC, but according to that, she's not. Her tweet made me believe. I apologize. Sorry. Anyways, that gives us an opportunity to get somebody to run against AOC. But anyways, Stevie, you got my vote. Now we have jump over to Ilhan Omar, the outspoken Muslim in Congress. How frustrating. And at JVER1, evangelical leader launches campaign to unseat anti-Semitic Muslim congresswoman. And as you can see, she has to spell the word Muslim with a symbol in there so that Twitter doesn't recognize that and block her tweet. Lori Moore demands Omar's resignation, and unholy war is being waged against the Jewish people. Hashtag we cannot let hate stand. At Donald Trump, FORC. And you can see right here, here's Lori Moore's page. And scroll down and let's check her video out.
Hello and welcome to PJTN's new online platform. I'm Laurie Cardoza Moore, President and founder of Proclaiming Justice to the Nations. This new platform is designed with one thing in mind, to provide you with the newest state-of-the-art technology to share the PJTN message, to share PJTN's vital information with your friends, family, anyone you can. From Facebook and Twitter to the ever-growing ways we can now communicate through social media. The time is crucial. PJTN is an organization for a time such as this. A time when the need to support Israel and the Jewish people against the rise of anti-Semitism has never been more urgently needed. Our mission, PJTN educates, advocates, and activates Christians, Jews, and all people of conscience in building a global community of action and prayer in support of Jews and Israel. We are engaged in winning the ideological, social, moral, and spiritual battle for the mind of this generation. The future of our children and the next generation depends on us. We must take action now. Too many civic and church leaders, educators, and political leaders have little or no knowledge about their biblical responsibility to protect Israel and the Jewish people from the normalization of anti-Semitism. It's no surprise that in 2017, this vile form of hatred and the violence associated with it has risen on college campuses by 45%. We must not remain silent. At PJTN, our members are the strengthening foundation and empowering force for all we do. Please consider joining us in our efforts to raise awareness and provide action in standing against anti-Semitism in all its forms. We welcome you to the new PJTN site, and we welcome your involvement, your feedback, and communication with us, and more importantly, your prayers. Isaiah 62:6 says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls of Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day or night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent. I encourage you to be a watchman on the wall. Let your voice be heard. Please join us now in our efforts to be a blessing to all Israel.
Wow. Now, how do you not elect somebody like that? Holy smoke. Obviously, it's going to be an uphill battle because there's a lot of anti-Semitism in Omar's district. because that's pretty much who elected her. But with people of conscience, with her story and getting out there and getting out to the vote, just being who you are, having a great story and following the steps, we can absolutely help you. Jay Townsend is our go-to guy for the leadership that you need to develop, if that is what needs to be, the different steps that have to happen, how to raise money, how to run a campaign, how to be successful, and certainly how to win. And that's why we go to him. Just a great, great guy. Jay Townsend. If you want to learn any more about Jay Townsend, he's on the YouTubes. And he literally, and he told me this against advice from his colleagues, he has literally put on YouTube almost every single video that you could utilize for free to run a campaign successfully and win. So Jay Townsend, thank you very much. He's going to be a part of our solution to help individuals get elected to Congress. And this at Zionist Girl 18. And so Jerusalem Girl put this video up. On C-SPAN in the 1980s, an American Muslim woman lays out the plan to convert all Americans to Islam.
Education is one of the most important areas that Muslims have to address. And while our objective, our final objective, is not just to become part of. Education is one of the most important areas that Muslims have to address. And while our objective, our final objective, is not just to become part of the system that we experience now and that we see, our objective, our final objective, is to create our own Islamic systems, and not only create Islamic systems for Muslims, but to look at all the other people who are sharing this country with us as potential Muslims. And if we look at them as potential Muslims and feel that we have the obligation, which Allah has told us, to try to bring them into the same style of thinking, into the same way of behaving, into the same objectives that we have, then we have to have some way that we can communicate with them and some way we can work with them. And in that long-range process of making America Muslim, all of America Muslim, then we have to have some actual short-range goals. We have to have some way of dealing with them and know how we're going to deal with them and in which ways, and be very calculated about it, or else we will not accomplish our goals.
This is Islam. This is the evils that are out there. Ronald Reagan said we're one generation away from falling. And absolutely, look at this. In the 1980s, I was a little youth. I was a young kid, and they've been working for how long? She was preaching this in 1980. Fast forward all the way now to 2018. Now we've got official Islamists that are part of our elected officials. So wrong, so bad. We can't do this. I was talking with friends about this. We can't use the government to stop this. The government is too PC. They'll never get involved and stop this. We have to do exactly what she said she's doing. We have to do this as Christians. As Christians, we need to promote Christianity. We need to talk to Islam, the Muslims, about Christianity, about the freedom of Christianity. This is where you need to be over here. You're in the wrong place, man. That has no bearing in our country. It is the complete opposite of our culture, and they know it, and they're here to convert. They're here to change our government and our system and our way of life. As Christians, we need to open our arms and welcome them into Christianity, the freedom of Christianity. It's right here, folks. My pastor had talked about this and preached about this. Completely different ideology that I was thinking. I wasn't geared or thinking of a solution in the sense of bringing them into the fold because they desperately need to hear about Christ. I was thinking more or less, we need to kick them out of the country or stop them from something. I didn't have an answer. That is the answer. We need to, as Christians, embrace them and bring them into Christianity. Show them who Christ really, truly is, and change that whole narrative of Islam in America to Muslims coming to America to find Christ. There it is. Muslims coming to America to find Christ. And also why we are not electing at Joe Biden, this at Jake Palmieri. Does Joe Biden realize he isn't America's dictator? No, Joe, we don't care what you think. The rights to keep and bear arms will not be infringed. This by thepalmierireport.com. Check that out. Check out Jacob's website. And creepy, gropey Joe talking about during a speech, Joe told listeners that there's a rational way to deal with the Second Amendment. Folks, they're coming for him again. They never stop. These Democrats never stop. It's the same old broken record. And now we have all kinds of documented proof on the internet where we can go with a click of a button, find information on these candidates. We can vet them out. We can go back through their history. We know exactly who they are. We're going back through Joe's history before the internet was invented. And we're going all the way back to the 80s and 90s. And Joe's always been wrong for the country. Found this pretty interesting at RobJH1, the conservative black cowboy. This is an interesting read provided by at Small Town Andrew. Michelle and Barack Obama are no longer lawyers. Why not? We've all seen in the past few days the fake news media bring up Donald Trump's background in businesses and demanding to see his tax returns. Click over and check out that article. Great article, great read. That does beg the question. And he goes into detail about the schools they went to, the years that they obtained their law licenses, all the subtle nuances behind the Obamas. And we know why Bill Clinton's no longer a lawyer. He lost his law license. But yeah, it's very telling. Apparently, Michelle Obama was given an option. And her option was to give up her law license. Very interesting read. We did the Logan Act already. Oh, we got time. What are we looking at? All right, let's get into the Mueller stuff real quick. This thing is this is so bad. The Comey, pathetic. How can anyone take this man serious? Comey says AG Barr is less than honorable. At Jamie ODR14, Jamie Army Girl, absolutely another good one to follow on Twitter if you want to stay in the know with the real news and you want to be and you are on the Twitters. Absolutely follow Jamie Army Girl. Pathetic. How can anyone take this man seriously? Comey says AG Barr is less than honorable? What the hell? He lied about investigating and spying on Trump, let Hillary's case be dismissed when she was guilty. I've never wanted a man in prison more than him. Agree? ? Yeah, 1,185 likes, so I think a bunch of us agree.
You think of the way Attorney General Barr has behaved? Because you had talked earlier, I think right when maybe before the summary came out, or right after the summary came out, that you needed to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I think, and I said that because I think his career had earned that, and so I tried to withhold judgment. He did a very good thing in offering transparency. Most of the report is unredacted, so we could see it. And then I think he acted in a way that's less than honorable in the way he described it in writing and described it during a press conference, and continues to talk as if he's the president's lawyer. That is not the Attorney General's job. It's a political appointment by the president, but you lead an institution that belongs to the American people and not the president.
You think he's behaving less than honorably?
I do. Yeah, and look, I'm sorry to...
Someone put the clap machine on. The sign says clap.
He's an accomplished and very smart person, and who had nothing to lose in taking this job but his reputation. But it doesn't make me happy to say this, but I think he has lost most of his reputation with the way he's conducted himself.
Do you know why he's doing it?
I don't. I can speculate, but I don't know. People are complicated, but it is deeply concerning.
You want to talk about somebody who's lost all credibility and ruined their career? That would be you, man. You got fired. You got fired, James Comey. You got fired. You lied, you cheated, you stole, you leaking liar, Comey. You leaked notes. You told us that you illegally leaked notes to the professor to get him to the news outlet in the hopes of triggering a special counsel. Man, something's really wrong with this man's head. Something's really wrong with Comey. Let him go. Let him go. And Donald Trump's response to that, James Comey is a disgrace to the FBI and will go down as the worst director in its long and once proud history. He brought the FBI down. Almost all Republicans and Democrats thought he should be fired, but the FBI will regain greatness because of the great men and women who work there. And this at the GOP, thrown up there just today, matter of fact, May 9th, 2019. Here you go, James Comey. Here's what the Democrats think of you, too.
Democrats have been very critical of James Comey, and many of us did call for his resignation.
Well, I was appalled by what Director Comey did.
Comey acted in an outrageous way.
He made a mistake. Maybe he's not in the right job.
Howard Dean, former Democratic candidate for president, says, quote, he may have destroyed the credibility of the FBI forever.
This was a very serious error in judgment.
The president ought to fire Comey immediately, and he ought to initiate an investigation.
What he did was unprecedented and outrageous, damaged the institution of law enforcement in this country.
The lowest moment in the history of the FBI.
I found it hard to believe that Comey, who I thought had some degree of integrity, would do this.
All I can tell you is the FBI director has no credibility. That's it.
Thank you, GOP. Guys, I don't know who over there is running the GOP. I know I think Ronna is doing a fantastic job, but I don't know who's running the GOP and their video accounts. But wow, knocking it out of the park, calling a spade, and just really crushing these never Trumpers, these haters of Trump. This is great, awesome stuff that's coming out. And then we had over the evening, constitutional crisis. Somebody wrote that down and passed it to everybody in the media and passed it to all the Democrats. Constitutional crisis over Mueller, Barr, the whole situation. And Great one to follow here. This is his second tweet. He's got 2 tweets on the show tonight. He must be pretty good to follow. The conservative black cowboy at ROBJH1. My fellow patriots, the only constitutional crisis is the Democrats wanting AG Barr to break the law for them. None of them have read the Mueller's report. Why haven't they? This is a political ploy. Hashtag red vote to save America.
A constitutional crisis.
I do believe we have now entered that constitutional crisis. A full-scale assault on Congress means to instigate a kind of constitutional crisis. We are facing a constitutional crisis.
I'm really curious because isn't that the height of isn't that the definition of a constitutional crisis?
President Trump appears to be heading toward a constitutional crisis with House Democrats as he continues to hide the Mueller report.
President Trump is pursuing a stonewall strategy when it comes to Congress. Courting a constitutional crisis.
This administration wants to have a constitutional crisis because they do not respect the oath of office that they take.
So, ever wonder what a constitutional crisis looks like? Well, open your eyes.
And then also this one tweeted out, same guy, same one to follow, conservative black cowboy. There's no crisis other than obstructionist Democrats colluding with the liberal media. They are afraid of what AG Barr will uncover, so they want to muddy the waters. AG Barr is beyond reproach.
We've talked for a long time about approaching a constitutional crisis. We are now in it.
Do you agree with Congressman Nadler, Chairman Nadler, that we're in a constitutional crisis?
We are. Yes, I do agree with Chairman Nadler because the administration has decided that they are not going to honor their oath of office.
Complete spiral, complete meltdown. That is what the left is right now. If you've seen any of the shows that I've done this week, I've exposed all the criminal elements. We've really just put this out there so that everybody can see the facts, not fiction, not gaslighting. Don't believe them for 1 minute because they're absolute lying to cover their double you-know-whats. And Nadler, again, this was tweeted out by at Sarah Carter, DC. Nadler, we're in a constitutional crisis. Great article to read. Yes, and they are harassing Don Jr. There's no question about it. Continuing to harass Don Jr., and this tweeted out by Kimberly Guilfoyle, at Kim Guilfoyle. Richard Burr's home state turns on him. Backs Don Jr. instead. This article by Breitbart.com. And if you guys remember from yesterday, this was the Republican-led effort to subpoena Don Jr. to come back and testify again after 5 hours and after Mueller's report says there's no there. Why would they want Don to come back? It's harassment. And this Republican senator, Tom Tillis, is speaking out against GOP North Carolina Senator Richard Burr's decision to go rogue and subpoena Trump Jr. And at Cat the Hammer won. So I'm guessing Senator Burr isn't going to run for office again. Folks, this is who he is. Hit the like and hit the share. Remember who this guy is. He took part in the attack on Donald Trump and Donald Trump's family. And I thought this was funny. I follow her now, or if it is a her, it's at CatTurd2. Yeah. The MAGA who talks a good talk. Since they're screwing with Don Jr., again, at Real Donald Trump, today would be a great day for you to declassify every deep state document in Washington, D.C., including the payoffs we taxpayers funded to settle sexual abuse claims in Congress. Who are they? I couldn't agree with her any more than that. That is phenomenal. I say that he should absolutely do that. And she's referring to the slush fund that congressmen and women have, and women, I say women, have to pay for lawsuits brought against them or sexual assaults brought against them. The accuser signs a non-disclosure agreement and gets paid off and walks away, and that's it. Taxpayer dollars. It is absolutely a real thing up there in Congress, and it's no good. But okay, so we're going to wrap up the show with some phenomenal news. News you're not going to hear anywhere, folks. At Real Donald Trump, the average 401k balance has soared since the bottom of the market. 466%. Wow. Folks, if you got your money in your 401k and you're doubting Donald Trump to be president, you ought to look at your 401k. If you got any naysayers that you know talk garbage about Trump, you bring up the 401k. And another great one tweeted out by Trump. Thank you, sir, for keeping us informed. Great consumer price index just out, really good, very low inflation. We have a great chance to really rock. Good numbers all around. Great Americans I follow at Gina, Notjenna. You are absolutely the best POTUS ever in American history. Let the haters keep hating. How sick are they that they hate success for our country? God bless Real Donald Trump. America loves. There are some mentally sick people put out there. That's for sure. Hashtag resist Blue Wave 2020. Democrats, liberal logic, impeach Trump, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, Blue Wave 2020. Listen, watch, wake up. This is fantastic. At IFB Paul, he also tagged, because our friend Emmy at SERREMMY is also a part of this video. This is something that we all need to know. If you think that the liberals are going to get the black vote, think again.
Who you voting for?
I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Yeah. And why?
Because I feel we need security first.
Yeah.
Open borders, no.
Yeah. 500% increase in refugees.
She's going to have to raise taxes.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have to pay for it. We're going to give them free housing. We're going to give them food. And Obama going to make sure they have a phone.
And this at Donald Trump, once again, tweeting out, House Republicans should not vote for the bad Democrat disaster supplemental bill, which hurts our states, farmers, and border security. Up for a vote tomorrow. We want to do much better than this. All sides keep working and send a good bill for immediate signing. And this Dan Crenshaw, TX, we've reached a new low in deceitful politics today. The lies about protection for pre-existing conditions continue. This was one of the most shameful and dishonest bills passed in the House so far. Hashtag HR 986. Democrats run on fear-mongering. They try and put people into fear to vote for him because you wouldn't vote for him otherwise. And that's why they scream pre-existing conditions, blah, blah, blah. This tweeted out at House GOP. D's bill on the floor today has nothing to do with pre-existing conditions, but it will prevent states from reducing the price of health care. Look at how costs have decreased for states who have taken advantage of the current waivers. And you can see the decrease in Alaska, all over, you see up there in Wisconsin and Michigan and Maine. This is what states have used 1332 waivers to reduce healthcare costs. Democrats are trying to take that away. If the idea is a good idea and it's not the Democrats' idea, then the Democrats are going to hate you, no matter if it's a good idea or not. And this at Team Trump.
For too long, surprise billings, which has been a tremendous problem in this country, has left some patients with thousands of dollars of unexpected and unjustified charges for services they did not know anything about. And sometimes services they did not have any information on. They weren't told by the doctor. They weren't told by the hospitals in the areas they were going to. And they get what we call a surprise bill. Not a pleasant surprise, a very unpleasant surprise. So this must end. We're going to hold insurance companies and hospitals totally accountable.
Donald Trump holding hospitals accountable for billing issues. You know, and I know that we've always had issues with that. Trump tweeted out again, great news today. My administration just secured a historic donation of HIV prevention drugs from Gilead to help expand access to PrEP for the uninsured and those at risk. Will help us achieve our goal of ending the HIV epidemic in America. And what he's talking about the vaccine now. There's apparently we can prevent AIDS and possibly even cure it now. Donald Trump curing everything, even curing socialism. He answered socialism. Donald Trump tweeted out, tariffs will make our country much stronger, not weaker. Just sit back and watch. In the meantime, China should not renegotiate deals with the U.S. at last minute. This is not the Obama administration or the administration of Sleepy Joe, who will let China get away with murder. Funny how Trump called it murder. Wow. I don't know. I mean, Joe's done a lot of bad stuff. I'm sure he's probably involved in that too. But anyways, folks, some fantastic news coming out of this administration helping to cure AIDS, helping to cure socialism. If we could just find a cure for Trump derangement syndrome, man, we would knock it all out of the park. What a crazy, crazy left-wing party. So far left-wing that Uncle Joe Biden isn't leftist enough. He's a centrist. According to the Democrats, Uncle Joe is probably a conservative. Anyways, guys, what an incredible Friday. Again, New Right Network tonight, original series, SmythTV. Your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the breaking news of the day, wrapping it all up, making sense of it, exposing the fake news, and giving you the real news, stuff you'll never hear anywhere, right here. Set your alarm, set your alerts for 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. And for Good Friday, everybody have an incredible weekend. Spend time with your friends and your family. Go to church on Sunday. The church is the hospital for your soul. Just as you go to the hospital for a broken bone, go to church. We're all broken. Get fixed. Get self-help. All right, everybody. Much love. And my support for WikiLeaks as well. Much love from SmythTV. Jump over to SmythTV and become a patron. Thank you very much. Peace out.
You've been listening to New Right Network, mobilizing, countering, energizing. Online at newrightnetwork.com.